Welcome to another Brisk Brit YouTube video here on this channel. Today we're going to be looking at my controller settings. Just for those of you who are curious and want to know, I play on controller, not keyboard and mouse, so we're looking at those kind of settings. Or if you guys are trying to adjust your settings to work for you and you just kind of want to see what I do and maybe pick and choose from that and test things out for yourself, by all means, you're more than welcome to do that. I just figured, scratch an itch. Here's my controller settings. But one thing before we hop into my controller settings, if you wouldn't mind just hitting that subscribe button, liking this video, because it helps me, but it really also helps you too. Okay, let's jump in. Okay, so here are my settings. I will walk you through it, and then at the end I'll just give it a nice scroll through. So if you want to jump to the end just to see it all, I guess you can, but I will be explaining a couple things that will make more sense to why I'm doing these settings, so I do encourage you to watch the whole video instead of just skipping to the end, but I guess my feelings won't be too hurt if you skip to the end. Okay, I don't worry about this anymore because I use edit on release. It's pretty split down the middle of people using edit on release or not. Because I play controller and I have a limited amount of buttons, edit on release really works well for me. But if you're keyboard or mouse, maybe you don't want to use edit on release, that's fine. It's totally up to you. But that's what works for me to be able to edit faster. I use advanced settings, so I don't use just these numbers. When I did start out, I kind of hung between 4 and 6 is what I did. So if you're just wanting to do that, you might want to just kind of test out each one. Because I do advanced, we're just going to look through this whole thing. So my build mode and edit mode sensitivity multipliers are ×2. And this is because of the settings for my look sensitivity. So if you look down a little bit, it's 35% and 35% for my vertical and horizontal look speed. It's a little slow, but that's just how my brain works and what works well with me. I wouldn't recommend going any lower than this, but because I have such a lower look sensitivity settings, I have to do ×2. I've kind of played around with this, hung around 1.8 to 2 times multiplier because I need that extra little quickness to build quick and edit quick when I'm in a build fight. So that's why that's ×2. I don't use turning boosts at all. I don't recommend using them. There's just, it just kind of messes you up. There's just no reason to. So I don't use that. The turning boost ramp time, I do use a little bit, and basically this just gives me like an extra little, a little speed that I need when my analog stick is fully deflected. I've played around with this and I don't know, I feel like I like it better when it's 0.1, and maybe it doesn't make a difference, but I don't know, maybe it's all in my head. My ADS, aim down sights sensitivity levels, you'll notice that they're not equivalent, and this is because with the vertical speed, when people are diving down, they eventually pull out their glider, unless they want to take some fall damage, but it's fine, to each their own. But because they kind of like hit that point when they start going slower, I want to be able to move with them and allow my analog stick to kind of have just that little extra help to go slower than if I just made it equivalent with my look horizontal speed. So there's that. Again, no turning horizontal or vertical boost. Again, maybe it's all in my head, but the turning boost ramp time, I have 0.1 seconds. Then you'll see that I use linear. I don't use exponential because of the way that my brain works. I don't like exponential. I have tried it, so I'm not just saying this just randomly. I have tried exponential for a while. I just kind of liked how linear just, the more you increase or the more you push your stick, the more it increases, and it's just a flat line or like a similar incline. But exponential kind of curves up, so my brain just it just works better knowing that it's just all gonna stay the same instead of like, woo. I don't know if that made any sense. The dogs just came home from their walk, so I have no idea what I was just talking about. Linear. I use linear. Because I use linear, I have a 0.17 second look dampening time, and this is to allow me to make those small view adjustments and those minor little movements with my analog stick that you have a lot easier time doing with exponential, but not an easy time doing it on linear. So I give myself that little bit of dampening time to be able to move my little analog stick around, to be able to mark things easier, move a little tiny bit across the screen easier. And then you'll notice my aim assist strength is not all the way up. And this is how I challenge myself, and this is something I would recommend for you guys to challenge yourself. On the days that I'm really doing bad and my aim is just horrible, I will turn it all the way to 0. Then I'll go into creative and I'll go into some of those aim maps that help you with your aim, and I will get to a comfortable level using 0% aim assist strength. And then when I jump back into games, I'll put it all the way up to 100, and then I have that extra boost of confidence that I'm actually going to hit my shots. But right now I have it at 85 because I'm challenging myself to not have to use 100%, but it's totally fine if you use 100%. In fact, why not? I'll just turn it up. There we go. Okay, so then my left stick and right stick dead zone are a little bit different because of my controller. So I learned this little trick. You take your controller and you shake it. Do you see that little yellow line or the yellow circle? So I need my dead zone to be a little bit larger than that yellow circle. That's just a fun little trick you can use to figure out what your dead zone is, mess around with it, adjust it as you need to. It was just a little bit different for my left and right stick. That's a fun little tip for you. But those are my settings. So I will give it the old scroll through for those of you who are wanting to jump to the end. But if you stuck with me this whole time, thank you. I appreciate it. So here are my settings. Again, feel free to use these as you will. If you're just curious and just wanted to know, then there you go. If you want to kind of test out some things that I have used for myself, then by all means do that. But don't get frustrated if these settings don't work for you, because I'm me and you're you, and God has created us to be different. Yeah, try these things out if you want to. That'd be good for you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Again, subscribe, hit that like button, and I will see you in the next video.